Some of you have asked me to show you how I do my hand lettering. As a disclaimer, I'm not an expert on this. I just recently learned this, but I will show you how I do it. Well, here it goes. The hand lettering that I do is called Faux Calligraphy, and it's not the same with cursive writing. Before I show it to you, I need to go over some basic principles from hand lettering using a brush pen. I have here Writex signed brush pens in vintage color. The first principle is upstroke, where you apply light pressure on your pen so that the line is thin like so. The second principle is downstroke, where you apply more pressure to make thicker line like this. So upstroke is light pressure and thin. Downstroke is more pressure and thick. Just remember that. Then practice with going up and down, thin stroke, thick stroke, thin stroke, thick stroke, like so. Here's how you write an alphabet using those principles I mentioned. With faux hand lettering, instead of a brush pen, you actually use a regular pen like this Writex Up gel pen. And please forgive me, this pen is about to run out of ink, so if the line looks choppy, that's why. And here's how I make the alphabets and numbers. After writing the alphabet in one single stroke, using the principles I mentioned earlier, I go back to widen or thicken the downstrokes to mimic the real calligraphy. It may take some time to remember which one is downstroke or upstroke. You just have to be mindful. You also do not have to write your letters in one single stroke like cursive writing, but stop after each stroke. Oops, almost made a mistake here. That small letter B should start with a curve that turns into a downstroke. As I mentioned, I'm not an expert on this. I'm a newbie and often make mistakes and have to go slow. Videotaping this definitely makes me even more nervous. Why do I choose faux calligraphy? At the beginning, I wanted to be a minimalist. I just wanted one pen that could do everything. I avoided buying brush pens and bought a gel pen in black ink and thought that was all I needed. But as you see in this video, I do have a set of Writex brush pens. Well, actually, I got those pens because I won their giveaway on Instagram just recently. So now I have brush pens. Another reason is that I like to fill up my map that I don't have much space to work with. I feel that I have more control using a regular pen than a brush pen in a tight space. Brush pens do come in sizes. If you don't have much space and still want to use a brush pen, get a small one like this Writex pens. They come in different colors, but they do have a set that has black color. Or if you only need black, you can try a popular brush pen called Fude no Suke. I'll make sure I'll leave the links in the description below. If you are new to this, my advice is to find a handwritten font that you like, type out the alphabets and numbers, print them, and start practicing. Maybe use a tracing paper at first until you get used to it. The key is practice, practice, practice. A few fonts that might help you get started are Milky Matcha and Butterfly Garden from thefont.com and Sweet Someday, a free font from Creative Fabrica. I'll leave the links in the description below. There are also many bloggers that give out practice sheets for free, or you can also buy a book on Amazon or Etsy. Once you grasp the basic style of each alphabet, you can write them as bouncy as you like or expand each letter or use the flourish style with a lot of curls and twirls at the end of the stroke. You can also start modifying your alphabets to develop your own style. Depends on what you use them for and how much space you have. Two YouTube channels that I recommend are Ensign Insights and The Happy Ever Crafter. I'll put the links in the description below. Just remember, this fancy calligraphy is not the most important part of your scripture map. It's just the icing on the cake. So if you feel like this overwhelms you, don't worry too much about it. Just keep writing. Oh, I missed that downstroke again. That tail on that capital Q is supposed to be thick, and I forgot to do it. It's a downstroke, so it's supposed to be thickened or widened. Friends, this is why I'm not the expert or the authority on calligraphy. I strongly recommend that you check out those two YouTube channels that I mentioned earlier and learn from them and not from me. I'm just making this video so that I can show you the little that I know so that you can start playing around or trying this out and see if it's something that you're looking for, or to see if it's something that you enjoy and want to include in your map. So enjoy the rest of the video, and I hope you learn a thing or two from me. Just note that this video is sped up so I don't bore you with my tracing of each alphabet and number. Definitely, faux calligraphy takes more time as you need to go back to widen the downstrokes. As for me, since sometimes I have to write in tight spaces, I prefer faux calligraphy so I have more control on the size of my writing. What about you? Are you going to try this out? Or are you going to try it using the brush pen? Let me know what you think in the comment below. Here's a comparison when using a brush pen and a regular pen for faux calligraphy. That's all I have for you in this video, and as always, if you find this video to be helpful, please like it, subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and click on that notification bell so you can be notified whenever I upload a new video. Until next time!